The head of the Colorado DMV apologizing tonight after News 5 Investigates found the department erroneously sent out letters suspending or revoking driving privileges for dozens of people.
And it gets worse. Chief investigative reporter Eric Ross uncovered the DMV revoking licenses of hit-and-run crash victims, while in many cases the suspects got away. Eric, what did you find out?
Rob and Elizabeth, good evening. Our investigation began back in August with a man by the name of Michael Johnson. Johnson was homeless and carrying groceries back to his shelter when he was hit in the middle of a crosswalk. The DMV later sent him a letter revoking his driver's license. Now, after we started asking questions, we learned 78 additional innocent people were put in similar situations. Tonight, we investigate how did this happen and what's being done to make sure it does not happen again. Michael Johnson got a taste of how government is not supposed to work.
Nobody wants to do their job right, and then innocent people, like, how many other people has this happened to?
Just days after being hit in a crosswalk near I-25 in Tejon, the DMV sent him this letter revoking his license. He had to have a formal hearing at the DMV to get it back.
Basically, being the victim in the incident, I have been having to defend myself as to why I was the victim.
Zachary Kleinschmidt is another victim. He was struck while riding his bike near North Park in Garden of the Gods.
As soon as I had gotten in the middle of the crosswalk, a car was coming, taking that left turn onto North Park, and had hit me on my right side.
He was hit so hard, you could see what appears to be tire impressions on his clothing. In both cases, the drivers took off before police arrived. And like Johnson, Kleinschmidt received a letter from the DMV.
I was kind of like really confused because I wasn't sure why that would be the case, because I was the victim, I guess. Like, I was one who had gotten hit.
On August 25th, News 5 Investigates started asking questions about this mix-up. In September, the Department of Revenue did an audit and found a total of 79 drivers received incorrect suspension or revocation notices. The state blames the problem on a technical computer software glitch.
In implementing any new software package, you're going to come across technical difficulties that were unexpected.
Michael Hartman is the executive director for the Department of Revenue. He says the problem centers around how these 12 law enforcement agencies were electronically uploading accident reports. In many hit-and-run cases, the suspect is unknown, so no name is listed under Driver 1 in the accident report. Consequently, the DMV system defaulted to the name listed in the next field, which in these cases was the victim.
I wouldn't be happy either. It's an unfortunate inconvenience to have to go in, whether it's a line situation or just having to take time out of your day to go in and deal with something that was an error. It's something that we don't want to have happen within our driver's license offices, within our hearings divisions at all. We want to focus on getting it right.
The DMV has since modified its program so this does not happen again. But we also noticed in at least 2 cases, Colorado Springs police listed the hit-and-run victim as a driver in the officer's narrative, which they were not. Did that play any role in the DOR's determination of, oh, this person was said to be driving, they don't have a license, we're issuing them a letter?
Yeah, it's an astute observation, and in fact, that's exactly what happened.
The Colorado Springs Police Department says it's looking into whether their reporting system can or should be adjusted. Is there a possibility more people could be impacted?
I'm very certain that we've solved this specific issue. Again, as you roll out new software packages, it is possible that we will find other glitches and opportunities for improvement.
We're told Johnson was the only victim who had to schedule a hearing to get his license reinstated. The DMV was able to contact the other 78 victims prior to a hearing being scheduled. However, Kleinschmidt questions whether these errors could have been prevented in the first place.
The police definitely should have made sure that the report was correct. And the DMV definitely should read the whole report before sending out mail like that.
The hit-and-run driver in Kleinschmidt's case remains unidentified tonight. Now, Johnson was able to take a picture of the license plate of the car that hit him, which police used to track down the registered owner. Police ultimately decided in that particular case not to issue any tickets or make any arrests. Rob and Elizabeth, we have a lot more questions related to that case. We are still waiting on answers from Springs Police tonight.
So looking at the even bigger picture here, if you are the victim of a hit and run accident, what are the charges that person's going to be found and justice will be served?
In Colorado Springs, not that likely. We'll come over here to the smart board over here. And as you can see, in 2014, police either issued a ticket or made an arrest in less than 19% of cases. That number dropped to 15.6% a year later in 2015, and then dropped again to 13.7% in 2016. One other important trend to notice, if you take a look from 2014 to 2016, there is a rise in hit and run calls. But from 2015 to 2016, as far as data is concerned regarding citations or arrests, as hit and runs were on the rise, tickets and arrests were on the decline. We'll follow up with police in the near future on this. Now, as always, if you have a problem or issue you'd like News 5 Investigates to look into, send us an email anytime. Our information is right there at the bottom of your screen, News 5 Investigates at KOAA.com.